Hello, welcome to the show, everybody. Yeah. Hi, guys. Thanks for coming. It is a pleasure to have you. We got the audience in the house. Anyone who's streaming, hello to you as well. This is a very fun thing that I like to do. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're all safe. It's fucking crazy out there. I know we got Canadians on, we got British people, we got a guy who is either in LA or Holland. I don't know, could be either. Uh, it's a wild time, and no one's doing well. Isn't that crazy? We're all over the world. Everyone's fucked. What a great time to be alive. This is it's good to be here. My name is Chris. This is Chris Betts versus the audience. This is my favorite goddamn thing in the world. I love doing this show. It's so fun. It occurred to me 2 minutes before I was put on this screen that the last time that I did the show live, I won an award for it, and now I'm in my living room. Life's crazy, guys. So it's if you haven't seen the show before, it's very simple. Basically, I will argue the opposite of anything anyone says. So I take suggestions from the audience, and if you're streaming on YouTube or Twitch or Twitter or Facebook, I fucking put it everywhere, guys. Sow your seeds. Then you can leave comments, and my moderators will send them over to me. So feel free to get involved. But basically, I will be debating against the audience. As the audience says, you guys are a team. I can see some of you right now. The rest of y'all I'll pull up in a second. But you guys all argue together. I think most of you have seen the show before, so it's nice to have some regulars, some friends in. One thing for anyone watching that hasn't seen it before, I am going to have to say some terrible things. It's very important that everyone remembers that just because I say a thing doesn't mean that I mean that thing. It's just a game. I'm here to win. So when I say climate change is great because I feel like the people to be killed first will be ugly, so no loss, I just want you to know that's not how I feel inside. I'm not anti-ugly people. I just want to win. I'm just a fucking champion. So that's all that is. So basically, we're going to get the game going. Like I said, I will argue with the audience. The audience is like a team, so they all argue together against me. I see a couple of you are muted. Paul is chopping carrots. That's a really weird... Can we get Paul's angle up on the speaker view here real quick? Because it feels like POV porn. It feels like I'm in a really uncomfortable spot, and I'm not sure. Like the knife is freaking me out. The phallic nature of everything he's chopping is really bothering me. Oh, we got Dorian is just literally walking down the street with her mask on and her friend. Hey, what's going on? Good for you tuning in. Oh shit, yeah. Honestly, I wasn't expecting a beard. Good job, Dorian. Damn, masks are really hiding everybody. Jason, you're muted. Can't have that. Got to take that off. Paul, you're muted. You got to take that mute off. I mean, yeah, you got the chopping. Fair enough. But yeah, we got to get you involved. Dorian, I don't know where you're going, but I hope you're safe. You got to travel, buddy, and I like that. This is yeah. So basically, I'll be arguing against you guys. Sorry, I got off track. This is I'm used to people just sitting in chairs, guys. This whole carrot chopping, walking down the street thing's freaking me out. But yeah, so I'll be arguing against you guys because it's an argument-based show. I bring in a judge to decide who won because it's 2020 and no one can admit they've lost an argument. Some people can't even admit they lost an election. So, we got to play it safe. So as a result, I always get to bring in some of my favorite comedians and people. Really, part of the show is just an excuse to hang out with people that I miss. And today is no exception. We have the amazing Lexx. So guys, please welcome to the screen your judge for today, Lexx.
Hello.
Hey,
dude.
Welcome. Thanks for playing.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's
How you
nice to be doing this not on a wobbly bus.
Yeah, I mean, you say that. I mean, I miss the bus so much. It's so weird.
I don't know. The wobbling made me feel like, oh God, we're all gonna die.
Oh,
I'm
that
sure
only
the bus was
adds.
safe, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think it drives anymore. I think they just pick it up, load it onto the back of a bigger bus, and drive it down the street.
that's capitalism for you.
It works. It's efficient. Where are you? You look like you're in an attic.
I am in a 70s comedy club in New York. Had it installed when it turned out all gigs were going to be in my living room. I am in the attic of my house. It's my office because me and my husband both work from home, obviously. Everyone does. And he can't stand up here. So I got the office. He got the garage.
Sneaky. That's a great spot. That's good work. All right. So, Laura, you remember how this all works. We argue back and forth. You mess with us and decide who argued best, not who's right. That's very important.
Okay.
Because I have won some arguments lately where I was not right. I was very wrong. I was incredibly wrong. I won an argument in favor of QAnon last week. That's where we're at.
I don't know what that is. Never mind. We haven't got time, but I'm sure it's a fucking very black hole
thing. It's super bleak, but hell of a name. I mean, QAnon. One thing I got to give these alt-right guys is they can fucking name something.
What does that mean? I thought it was Quanon. I've never heard anybody say it out loud before. QAnon.
It's a duck-based conspiracy. Quackanon.
Quanon. Sounds a bit like an antidepressant, doesn't it? Oh, I'm on Quanon. Yeah.
Oh,
bit of nausea.
I tried that when Zoloft wasn't working. So you're going to be judging. We're going to have 5 rounds. The first round was the audience gets to decide the topic, and so it'll be we have about 10 minutes of a first round, then a 2-minute speed round, then a 10-minute round, then a 2-minute speed round, then a judge's choice round where you get to decide the topic.
Okay.
So I don't know what that is, and I won't know until the last second when the audience finds out. But I am looking forward to it. Jamali, I had to argue in favor of apartheid against Jamali Maddox last time I played against him. So just to give you an idea of where we're at. We're going to get the game going. So how we will start is audience guys, you get to decide who, let's go to the gallery view here to see who we got in. SJ Summer, how's it going? You look so fucking cool. Please unmute yourself so we can play the game. Vasilis, right back at you. Vasilis, how's it going, man? This is my friend Vasilis. He's in an amazing band. Everyone go to gallery view. He's the best. My wife is here. Her name is Mrs. Betts. Guys, I'm having such a nice time already. So we're going to decide on what the first topic is going to be. Like I said, I'm arguing against you. So you guys got to get involved. This is basically feel free to vent. We've all been in our houses for a year now. So just let your craziest shit out. So the first options for topics are either get out of here. Get out of here is something that we just don't need anymore. My personal option is horses. What are we doing with horses? Just send them out in the mountains and leave them alone. But just as an example, we don't fucking need horses anymore. So get out of here is that kind of thing, something that's still kicking around that we don't need. If we didn't have
horses, though, we wouldn't know how fast cars went because they're measured in horses.
We could always measure them in Usain Bolts.
Oh, good. I like that.
There you go. Yeah, thank you. So we've got get out of here, or we can do shouldn't be a crime. Shouldn't be a crime is very simple. It's where you tell me something that is illegal that you think shouldn't be, or vice versa. So we do everything according to cheer here. Everyone's unmuted except for Paul, who's still making his sauce. I'm so impressed with him. It's such an industrious audience member. So guys, give me a cheer for get out of here on 3. 1, 2, 3. Nothing. Nobody. You guys want the law thing. We won't even do a cheer. Nobody wanted that. That's great. You're a team already, you guys. We just started. Dorian made it home safe. Dorian, good. Yay. So we're going to do shouldn't be a crime. So we're going to start the round. Guys, hit me. What do you think should no longer be a crime?
Public nudity. I'll give you that one. There you go. I've started it off.
Oh, okay. Straight out of the judge's chambers. Fair enough. All right. Public nudity. You know what? I mean, nothing makes me feel better about my dick than seeing other dicks. Like, as long as it's not in porn, that one hurts me. But regular dicks, get out of here. Come on, guys. If a bunch of dudes were just walking around flopping left and right like a terrible metronome, I'd feel great about myself. I'd go home feeling confident. I don't have a great dick. It's fine. It'll do. You know, it's like if it was a band, it would be the Goo Goo Dolls.
I object to that. I'm sorry. No.
Your wife doesn't look impressed.
Hang on, I need to hear this objection. Is this objecting? Is the dick better than he's saying, or are the Goo Goo Dolls better than he's saying?
Fair question.
To the Goo Goo Dolls being involved in any kind of analogy that has to do with any dick that I touch. So
Okay. All right. Noted.
That was a dodged question. That felt like she just burned my dick. That felt like she wouldn't commit, and I'm hurt a little.
The first Goo Goo Dolls albums are actually pretty good, and I'm sure your penis is good
for the first two.
Thanks, Vasilis. It's like the Goo Goo Dolls. It's got a couple good singles, but overall, like you wouldn't buy an album. You wouldn't commit to them.
But the first two, I stand by them, and I stand by your penis.
Thanks, man. But it's the kind of thing where would you pay for a ticket to see them, or would you only go see them if someone gave you a free ticket?
Now or back in time? The same goes for your penis.
I'm talking right now.
Right now, no.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Goo Goo Dolls. That's
fair enough. Well played.
Nothing to do with your penis. No connection whatsoever. I will spoil it for you guys. His dick is better than early Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh shit.
I don't but if you I don't know. Iris, that was the tune of so many breakups. Come on. And I'd give up forever. No dick is worth that emotional.
But it's dicks that cause that emotional.
Oh, very deep.
No, yeah, I think public nudity, I feel like we're getting too into the Goo Goo Dolls, which is something I never hoped for my life, especially my adult life. But I just think public nudity is such a wonderful thing because we're all so self-conscious about so many things, especially now that it's okay to be self-conscious about things, that, it'd be nice to just get one thing out of there. I mean, we're never going to feel adequate as like human beings, but at least you can just walk around and be like, oh, I guess I look like this. That's fine. That's all right. There's no nip tuck for what I got. I mean, I could get circumcised, but that's...
Yeah. You basically unleashed the worst excesses of the plastic surgeons on the world by having everyone walk around nude.
But they got to eat too. What do you got against plastics? It's the material of the future.
I would say it's because public spaces are gross enough already. I don't need the risk of actual butthole touching anything that I might touch. So.
Well, I mean, if people, okay, how about this? No gaping in public.
Oh, don't
no
say
spread.
Gaping. You
don't
just lost a point for the word gaping.
One crime with another. I don't know.
I feel like
how are you policing that? Like someone drops their keys and you're like, you better squat or cover up.
You're goddamn right. You better squat. You don't spread that shit. That's not for public consumption. All right. You keep it tight. You keep it clenched. And also, I mean, wouldn't it do wonders for your self-esteem to just know that someone found you hot?
No.
Well, not for women. They know anyway. Our eyes are basically just boners in our faces. But I think that there's something to be said for, walking around and you just see a woman wriggle a little. You go, oh shit, nice. I feel better.
Wait, hang on a minute.
Pep on my step.
Wriggle a little.
Yeah, isn't that what women do when they're aroused?
You
it's
see
like a little
sexy
wriggle.
Man and you're like, ooh.
Yeah, that's you caught the vapors.
Are you talking about women or cartoons? Just so
oh shit, I might be talking about cartoons, cartoon bunnies. Oh damn.
And the counterpoint of that world is just a bunch of horny men tacking into the wind.
Wait, explain yourself. Hold on. I need a reason
Penis,
for that.
Wind.
Well, I understand that, but I guess the smell would be a problem. But maybe actually it might increase hygiene. From what I've heard from a lot of women, there's a lot of stinky dicks out there. Whereas,
it's gonna look a lot like I suppose like being a man, if you get a boner in some trousers, you can sort of hide it. But without trousers, it's going to look like you're all water divining. Yeah,
which, good. I mean, the climate change is coming. We're all going to need a fresh water source. So, just follow them around. I guess I don't see, can you guys think of any downsides to public nudity?
So far, I've heard gaping, possible butthole bacteria, and sword fights when the wind blows.
Sunburn. As a ginger, this is a massive concern of mine. And if I were made to walk around everywhere naked, I would shrivel up and die within minutes. Well, this is not a good long-term solution.
I don't think we're arguing for mandatory public nudity.
Okay, I did miss the beginning. We were swapping from the phone to the computer.
We could cover you in sun lotion, and then you would be very slippery and hard to catch when doing crimes.
There you go. Yeah, that's right.
How do you know I do crimes?
I just guessed.
Oh, okay.
I guessed.
You got a real pirate vibe, Dorian. I'd say also, I mean, let's say even if it was mandatory, you could just buy a beautiful parasol. I feel like that industry's been lagging behind. We could bring it back. You look like a parasol guy anyway. You've got your long, luscious hair. I think, there's a lot of upsides to this. What I'm saying is I feel like there's no big parasol. You'd be contributing to college or cottage local industries, handmade parasols for all the naked people. There's no downside to this, guys.
Isn't there just going to be hair everywhere?
Hang on.
Like everywhere.
Everywhere. What do you
Like,
what do you
people
do even when
shed
you're
by
clothed?
that, though.
Like, I'm just like, what if? All right. Example: you're in the park, you're wandering around, right? You go and sit on a bench. You look to your right, and there's someone spilt beer or something, and it's sticky, and someone sat there, and something's come off, and there's just hair. I can't live in a world like that where there's just
Actually,
Hang on,
shedding. People are like easily shedding, but not from face or hair or anything. They're shedding from elsewhere.
the sitting point is one that needs to be brought up again, because say you go to the hairdressers and the person in front of you has been naked the whole time, you have to sit in their butt wall.
Oh!
That's a horrible experience. And if public nudity is just allowed generally, that is going to happen to some people.
But I think that like they put the cover over top of you when they're cutting your hair, they will put a cover underneath you, because if nothing else, after COVID, we're all going to be sick of disinfecting surfaces.
Buses.
Buses are gross anyways. I don't care how many clothes you're wearing, you're catching something.
Yeah, but not butt warmth. I mean,
have you ever? I've sat in someone else's butt warmth on the bus on a cold winter day, and I gotta say, I felt safe.
Like a hug from underneath.
Yeah, right. It's just like, we're not so different after all.
Did they wink at you when they stood up, knowing that you were going to sit in it?
They played it so cool. They just got up like they didn't leave me a treat. It was like a surprise birthday party. I thought it was very thoughtful of them. It was an old lady too, so I was like, "Damn, you're going to live a long time. Good for you."
Vintage.
Yeah, that's a
vintage butt warmth. Oh. That sounds like something you could search on Etsy, doesn't it?
Primo.
Has anyone ever actually been to a nude beach or any sort of nudist environment?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. From your experience, who are the quickest to get naked?
Old fat people. Every time.
Yeah, that's kind of what I suspected. And no, thank you, please. No, thank you.
That's ageist and body shaming. They have every right.
I feel exactly that way.
Wrinkly fat bodies out there.
Correct. I'm not hearing any counter argument. You are just identifying the points I'm making.
I think that they old fat people have very little to look forward to, judging by the places I see them in. It's either nude beaches, Weatherspoons, or at a legal distance from schools. I think that they should be able to enjoy themselves however they want. If they want to get it out, get it out. If nothing else, that will prepare you for later in life when that inevitably happens to you, because we all just get old and fat. Then later on in life, you won't feel so self-conscious about it because they set the precedent. If anything, it's freeing and it gives a reasonable account of what aging looks like.
Yeah.
As opposed to Nicole Kidman's frozen face. You know? Anyone got anything else? No? All right, we'll call that one there. Laura, what are you saying?
Okay, so I think the main arguments that we've had against are, one, Dorian doesn't want to look at some people, and two, ew, I would say is the main argument the audience have put forward. Ew. And I feel like ew is not a valid argument, particularly given the changes to society we've seen via COVID. I feel like sanitizer butt wipes and or disposable nappies for when you have to sit down could become a thing in the same way we didn't think masks would be a thing this time 2 years ago. So I have to give it to Chris.
Yes. Also, one thing I just thought of is I think we'd see a huge rise in the use of bidets, which is just good for everybody.
Yeah.
A
Everyone should have
genuinely
2
clean butt.
birthdays.
Yeah. All right, we got time for another Shouldn't Be a Crime. Yeah, anybody got anything? By the way, welcome to the show, Luke. Elliot, good to see you. Feel free to unmute yourself. Luke, you got anything that you wish wasn't illegal or something you think should be?
I think, well, one thing I was thinking that if they wanted to get the economy up right now is to legalize weed and tax it. The easiest way of making money.
Delegalize everything.
Yeah.
Okay, we can do legalize everything. So
Decriminalizing means everything. It's the best way to do it.
Here's the problem with legalizing everything.
It's not legalizing. Not legalizing everything. It's not.
You spoke. Everything. You spoke. It's done. Here's the problem with legalizing everything: is when you legalize everything, there's nothing left to strive for. What are you gonna do, guys? I think that I would personally never do drugs again. What's left to live for?
That's the point.
Boo.
Is to have fewer drug addicts. That's the entire point. You just made our case for us.
How many drug addicts do you know, Dorian?
Not as many as I'd like, but also too many.
I know a great deal, and they are super fun. Is that what you want? A less fun world, Dorian?
I disagree. Some of the most boring people I have ever had the discomfort of talking to have been massive stoners. You try and tell a stoner that you don't appreciate weed, and you have just locked yourself into an hours-long conversation about you haven't just tried the right kind of weed yet. Yeah. No. Fewer drug addicts generally, fewer drug takers, I think leads to more interesting conversations.
No, that's just because you're talking to potheads. That's your mistake. You got to up your drug game. You need to talk to people that are on heroin. They're beautiful. They have a sense of the universe that we could all only dream of.
My impression is that all they do is just kind of sit there and go,
oh no, that's train spotting talking. Keith Richards made most of your favorite albums on heroin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that shit was weaker back in the 70s.
Now he was doing pure, like beautiful. Weed got stronger. Heroin got watered down. Heroin's for babies now. Don't give your babies heroin. It's very rare that I do a disclaimer on the show. Don't give your babies heroin. Elliot, why do you want to legalize everything?
It's not more legalizing everything. It's decriminalizing everything. It's just better for recovery, getting people into therapy, and that's much better for the economy, much better for people in general. That if you get stopped and searched by the police, it's not for both all races and everything. It's just better for everyone.
I would argue that having to avoid the cops builds character. It makes you think ahead. It makes you plan. I think that turns you into more of a grown-up. Also, I don't know if you've been watching the general political movements, but the ones that are most allied to fascism do not do drugs. I think that it's basically, if you want to avoid right-wing autocracies, you need to encourage as much drug use as possible, because that broadens the mind. And part of the problem with decriminalizing drugs is drug use actually falls, and therefore we're more likely to fall into some sort of straight edge hellscape. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, but the alt-right don't masturbate either, so I'm not sure they're really the people you want to build your society around.
I think then we should criminalize masturbation just in case, just to broaden our
definitely not
broaden our foundation.
I think you haven't seen a society that's like fully legalized all vices like this. And what I think you're missing the point is, you said there that you've got these cops that are chasing people, building character. You've got people with untapped potential who are having to plan in this way for those kind of activities, to put all of their energy into pushing the drugs that we have, right? You said you want to see more drug use. Maybe if we legalize them all, you are opening up that untapped potential to start creating new vices we don't even know about yet.
Now that's an argument. Damn, that's good.
Things we can do.
Like what kind of vices are you foreseeing, Paul?
I'm not living in this perfect world, but I'm talking about the kind of thing that makes your hands and feet come. I'm talking about stuff that we don't even know about.
Well, I mean, Switzerland has decriminalized all the drugs, and they're fucking Switzerland. Is that who you want to be?
That's the point, though. We've already had that argument of decriminalizing versus legalizing. The decriminalizing has that judgmental element to it. It's got in the background, it's got Big Brother kind of saying, hey, we're not going to punish you, but maybe you lay off. You legalize it, people start taking the drugs. Their mind's open. You said yourself you want to see this expansion. Maybe it's like machine learning, machines creating machines. Drugs might lead to greater drugs, and our humanity could transcend this plane in a way that you, with your criminalization, is holding us back. You are a dick.
Oh, not to put too fine a point on it, but fuck me, right? That was great. I mean, my only qualm with that is that when you legalize all the drugs, when you stop having a stigma against it, then people stop doing it as teenagers because it's not dangerous, and so then they don't do it later in life because they haven't sort of fallen on that track. So drug use actually falls off hugely, and so you're less likely to have these brilliant creative thoughts. Like Steve Jobs credited acid for most of his best ideas. Groucho Marx took acid. Granted, later in life when he was making garbage films, but he was still a pretty cool guy.
But I think that
Steve Jobs is dead, so I mean, you're not helping your argument at this point.
Yeah,
dead, shit films.
It wasn't drugs that killed him; it was the Segway guy. We all know that.
Look, we don't know how it works.
I think
it could have been a whole thing.
Your point makes my argument for me, though. You're saying that people get into more like experimental, dangerous things when they're younger. If they're not just falling back and being lazy, like, oh, well, try weed, like they're being basic, they might start, innovating with more experimental drugs.
I just don't see it. I remember being a teenager vaguely. And I was a pretty active kid. I did a lot of things and none of them were that creative. The most creative thing I did was, I think we stole a life-size Santa Claus, big plastic one, from a store while we were skipping school, and we drove it out of the country and we set fire to it and we hit it with a car just because what else are you going to do?
But are you a drug addict?
No.
Then you're not the person we're talking about.
But I have done a lot of drugs. I've done a lot of drugs. I mean, if any cops are watching, this is a game and I'm talking shit, but I've done a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
Paul, I think you might have stumped me. That was very good.
I've got to go and check on my past debate now.
I'm outraged. I'm fucking outraged. All right, we'll call that one there. Laura, I mean, you can rule on it, but I myself sort of conceded. So,
yeah, I feel like your best argument there was the idea that teenagers, and I feel like we could just make it illegal for teenagers so that they still want to do it, and then we still have that key demographic available for selling to once they're adults. So I'm going to give that argument to the audience.
Yeah, totally fair. Well done, guys. Good job. Good job. That's 1-1. All right, so now we're going to go into the speed round. The way the speed round works is we got 2 minutes on the clock. Oh, I forgot to check. Morgan and Josh, I hope that we can put that 2 minute. There we go. Guys, I got 2 techs that are working on this, and I forgot to mention the speed round. And there's the clock right there. Couple of fucking pros. So the way the speed round works is I go head to head with one of you. We do as many topics as we can in 2 minutes. So does anyone volunteer before I pick someone? Dorian, straight in there. All right, unmute yourself, buddy.
I didn't do very well in this in Edinburgh. I'm sorry, everybody.
I think you're going to kill it. You're in your element now.
I had you on Malcolm X, if I remember correctly.
Oh, all right. That sounds plausible. All right. So, Laura, have you got your topics?
Yes.
Good.
Have
I think you printed it out.
Yes, I have. Yes.
Okay, great. So just read them out in whatever order you feel like.
Okay.
If you could just mark down a point for each one, depending on who wins it, that would be great. All right, so we got 2 minutes on the clock. Dorian,
hold on. Am I arguing for or against?
I was just going to ask, which would you like to be?
4.
4. Nice one. Breaking the British streak of against that has gone on for years. Well played. Okay, so you're going to be for everything. I'm going to be against everything. We got 2 minutes on the clock. Laura, go.
Staff.
Staff? What, just generally?
Yep.
Yeah, well, they allow businesses to grow bigger and be more effective and serve more customers. And when you are a member of staff, you get to meet all kinds of interesting people. And yeah, why would you be against staff? Just have staff if you want to grow your business.
It's selfish. It's selfish to be staff. Sorry, it's a speed round. It's selfish to be staff. Just volunteer like a good human being. Why are you taking money from these benevolent billionaires? Next.
Okay. Beards.
I mean, obviously I'm in favor. They hide my hideous, horrible chin that no one has seen for over a decade now. I think there are so many things you can do with beards. I mean, we can see just in this room alone, we've got small beards, we've got thick beards, we've got patchy beards. I won't point you out, but they're great. Beards are wonderful.
A little bit of shade in the room there. Nice. Fuck beards. They are they're the symbol of a weak man who needs to get his life together. Next.
Dragons.
Dragons are amazing. Who doesn't love dragons? Sure, they're not real or anything, but they prop up in so many myths from so many different parts of the world. And they're massive flying dinosaurs that breathe fire. They're incredible. And stories, every story is improved with the presence of a dragon. Put a dragon in any book and it becomes more exciting. Even if it just shows up for the last page, it's amazing. Dragons are awesome.
Dragons are Chinese propaganda to increase firework sales.
I like
dressing gowns.
I love a dressing gown. These are all so easy. Dressing gowns are amazing. You put them on, you don't look naked. You're basically naked, but you don't look naked. You can answer the door to the postman and you don't look naked.
But then you can flash the postman. That's worse. He'd rather just deal with the nudity than the fear that it might emerge. That's the end of the speed round. Well done, Dorian. Good job. Some very good arguments there. Laura, what are you saying? What was the score at the end of that?
Actually, you got 2 each there. I gave staff to Chris because Dorian was being very in favor of Jeff Bezos and I wasn't here for that. Beards, I gave to the audience because chins are disgusting and we should never see them. Dragons, I gave to Chris because Dorian was advocating bad storytelling and I don't like it. And dressing gowns, obviously, audience, because what an argument. You're naked but you don't look naked. Fantastic. I love it.
Strong. All right, good job, Dorian. So I think the score's tied now still. It's 3-3.
You're still tied. 3-all.
All right, we're going to go into the second round now. The second round is we have an option of 2 things. We can either do the carryover of the topic from the last round that we didn't use, which was get out of here, or we can do my personal favorite, which is regrets. Regrets is where you tell me something that you regret about your life and I tell you why it's the best thing you've ever done. Or you tell me something you're proud of, and I tell you why you're a piece of shit for thinking that. So we'll do a cheer method as always. So can you do me a cheer for get out of here? 1, 2, 3. Total silence again. Fantastic. All right, we're going to do regrets. So this is my favorite thing in the goddamn world. I've solved some problems here, guys. So if anyone wants to unload, feel free to give me a regret. What do you got, guys? Oh, the dog.
That's just a dog.
Yeah. Regrets being rescued. Let me back out.
I have something like I regret not picking up comic books that I found. I really love comic books and I used to collect them. And I found in 3 separate occasions comic books that I will never find again. And I didn't get them, although I could, because I felt at the moment that I wasn't worthy enough. And I do regret that, if not only for, not just for the object, but for feeling unworthy of not picking them up.
Oh, man.
So I regret that. I do regret that.
That was so sweet. Vasilis, what were the comic books? Just so we've got some.
One was a Harvey Pekar, an American Splendor comic book that I had found at the Notting Hill Exchange, and I knew the guys there. And when I picked it up, sometimes they would close up shop, and we would stay in and have beers, and they would give me stuff that were more expensive, much cheaper.
Nice.
And I came across that, and I was like, "Oh my god, how much is this?" And they were like, something. Could be like 60, could be 70, take it for $5. And I'm like, no, I'm not worthy of that. Like, I can't. Like, someone else who has done better in his life so far can pick this up. Okay. And that was one of them.
I would say comic books, Vasilis, do not discriminate. They are famous for being available for people who have not gotten their lives together. I would say that if there was any, it's like that and punk music. They don't give a shit about what your life was. You're fine. Also, I mean, full disclosure, Vasilis is a good friend of mine, and you're amazing. Imagine being the kind of sweet person who feels like he doesn't deserve a deal. That's how like wonderful and thoughtful and kind Vasilis is.
I am not, but it moves me to hear it.
I've got plenty of examples. So this is, I mean, Vasilis, I would say that it's a shame that you didn't get them. You will find them again because they exist, and so they can be found. That's the beauty of commerce. I would say that you knowing that you regret feeling like you weren't worth it shows that you know that you are worth it, and that was a temporary dip. And so if nothing else, that gives you context for the next time you feel that way, where the next time you feel it, you can go, oh, I remember this. I regret feeling that way. I do deserve Harvey Picar. If, by the way, no one was worse than Harvey Picar.
I know, that makes it even worse.
Horrific.
You know?
He was such a bad guy. So they should give his shit away for free just as community service. He was a monster.
He was exceptional at being pitiful.
Yes. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. But yeah, I think I mean, obviously don't do it again, but I think it's good to have our perceived weaknesses exposed in low stakes situations.
Can I add something to that?
Oh, absolutely.
See, I think there's like a sliding doors alternative version of the universe where you took that comic book for a $5, and then those lovely people that ran that place were £55 short on their rent and lost the store. And so you not taking that for undervaluing is as much about you not undervaluing what they do for a living and why there's a markup on these things. So you kept that store afloat, and you should feel double worthy for that.
Thank you. That's so kind. Unfortunately, the owners were not good people. My friends who worked there, occasionally they were super nice, and that's why they didn't give a shit. They were like, have it. But I just had to pay something to show that something went in the till. But thank you. I appreciate the sentiment, though.
Good man. All right. Well, we'll call that one there.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It did make a difference. Thank you.
All right. Well, I mean, he admitted it, so that's my point. So
I'll give you the point.
All right. Oh, we got another walker. We got RJ's walking down the street. What's going on?
Oh,
hey. No, you're good. I was just we've had very, very strange situations of people logging in. I appreciate it. People are getting involved before they're even home, which means a lot.
Yeah, I'm just in my office.
Good man. We're doing the regrets round. You got any regrets, RJ? Last time RJ did the regrets round, he told us that he regretted how he lost his virginity.
It's true.
Which was pretty weird. Has anyone got any regrets? RJ, you're very welcome. But anyone else?
I have a regret.
Oh, Alex, hit us.
So I quit my job 9 days ago without prospect of another one.
Nice.
In which time I've found some kind of thing that might turn into a thing. But I still haven't told my parents, and I'm now digging myself in a hole of lies, trying to explain with this other thing that's coming through how it worked with my original job, which I now don't have. And I've got to find some way to break it to them without just the lies falling apart first. You get me?
I think so. So you've trapped yourself in a web of lies, and is that the regret? Is the lying to your parents?
Yeah,
or is it the leaving the job?
Just a little bit. No. Oh, I'm so happy about the job, and the fact that I'm unemployed, I'm fine with. It's brilliant.
Cool. So it's the lying to your parents, right?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Show of hands in the audience. Who here doesn't lie to their parents?
Oh fuck.
Exactly. Guys, they're made to lie to. It's that's the deal. They lie to you as a kid, you lie to them as an adult. It's a back and forth give and take situation. I think that lying to your parents is a victimless crime. They love you regardless. There's nothing you can do to kick them out of your life. And so if it makes you feel better to keep them in the dark, fuck them. They're old. They'll be fine. They've lived a life. How old are your parents now?
Oh, they won't like me saying it. They're over 60, both.
Over 60. I mean, we're not going to look them up, Alex. We're not.
Look, I mean, who knows?
Not again, anyway.
The surname's out there.
Oh, fair enough. All right. So yeah, because
no one go find my parents, okay, guys? I don't need this in my life.
I feel like if nothing else, now people are more likely to try to find your parents. Alex.
Oh no, it's over. I'm gonna get them. I'm just gonna be like, look, don't worry about it, but put your privacy walls up. It's a thing. It's fine.
Well, I'd say, Alex,
See,
do you
this
think
kind of paranoia is the thing that we could avoid if cannabis was legalized and everybody stopped doing it.
Yeah. Alex, would you do you think your parents have been totally honest with you about their lives?
Oh no! In fact, I've got if they come at me, I'm gonna
come at you. Jesus.
Yeah. No. Well, if they say shit, I'm just gonna be like, well, you didn't tell me that my cat died until I did all my uni work. But I still feel bad about lying to them. But that's my. I'm ready.
Hold on.
Just
what
imagine
was
this
that?
cat dying age 6.
No, it was uni work. This was like 3 years ago. No, this was last year. Oh, so mad.
That makes it sound like you were asking them, is my cat alive? And they're like, you finish your uni work before we answer that.
Wasn't far off.
Schrodinger's essay.
You had summon in, and you'll find out, mate.
Yeah, I feel like your parents, they sound like monsters.
It's just my mum.
I think if nothing else, you should be lying to them more, and you should bask in it. They sound like they don't have your best interests at heart. It sounds like they killed your cat, if I'm honest. So
unproven.
I think. Well, yeah. I mean, they're old. They're not dumb.
If anything, they know loads more ways to kill a cat.
Absolutely, they've had enough time to figure it out.
It's not the first cat that's died since I've been gone. So I mean,
since you've been gone,
they know they're supposed to feed them.
It's for uni. No, they feed them. It was both
Arsenic?
times. It was some kind of cancer, which again is like, hey, cancer could mean a lot of things. How did this happen? Is this confirmed? I haven't seen the records. I haven't seen the medical records.
Cancer can mean a lot of things. I think.
No,
it's
pretty
well,
bare
I mean,
bones.
you could say anything's cancer. I mean, you shave someone's head and you just go, he's dying of cancer. I wouldn't know the difference. I'm not going to go, well, can I see your X-rays? Like, I don't. Even if I did, I don't know what it looks like. I don't know the difference. Is that a tumor or is it just a lump?
Are you all right?
No, I've been waiting on this for a while.
Should we be coming over? I just feel like if your video
I'm
goes
gonna
dead,
go get a
I'm
hug.
worry
So I'm
about
gonna
you.
go. I'm gonna get Morgan to give me a hug. Hang on.
Can I put a regret out there of joining Alex's therapy session?
Oh, if you guys are on gallery, you can see a hugs going on right now. Oh, Morgan, your housemate's a lunatic, and he's gonna kill your cat.
Yeah, I feel weird. It's really warm.
Alex, I don't hear anything for you to regret here. I mean, there are things that you didn't talk about regretting about your life that you probably should. You seem like a pretty frantic guy. We're all pretty worried about you now. But as for this lying thing, your parents sound like fucking outlaws, man. They sound like scoundrels. I think if you didn't lie to them, I think it sounds like they might be disappointed in you. So if nothing else, you're living up to, the family ways, and they might just be proud of you.
Wow.
And if nothing else, you've done very well in lying to yourself at convincing yourself that you quit that job rather than being asked to leave.
Yeah, I feel like there was a lot of cat cancer rants going on at whatever that job was.
The cats and the 5G.
They made a smart choice.
All right, we'll call that one there. Laura, what are you saying?
Do you know what? I'm just so genuinely worried. I'm going to give the point to Alex and Alex alone. Just because I feel like he needs something positive in his life.
Yeah, I needed
So I'm making a third segment of my score sheet. The audience is on 3, Chris is on 4, and Alex is on 1.
Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. Petty points. Alex, it only gets worse.
Oh no, this is not helping. This is actually worse. Okay.
I really hope that new project works out for you, man, because you are not hireable. Just as a quick aside to Luke, who regretted hearing Alex's therapy session, I would say, if nothing else, I bet you feel better about your life right now, don't you?
Yeah, for knowing Alex for a long time, yeah.
Not long enough.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Definitely long enough.
All right. So we got time for one more quick regret if anyone has anything. Otherwise, we'll move on to the speed round. Anyone got anything they want to get off their chest? Oh, Paul, what do you got?
I regret every skeleton I've excavated.
Every skeleton you've excavated. Now, for anyone that doesn't know Paul, that might sound like a very terrifying sentence. He's not a grave robber. He is an archaeologist, which is a grave robber with a pass.
Mm-hmm. And I'm starting to come around to that particular viewpoint, to be honest.
I mean, I've known you for a while, and you have talked about a lot of your skeletal remains that you've discovered, and always with glee in your eyes.
Yes, I'm starting to regret that.
Even when we talked about like kids' bones, you were like, they're pretty small. Wow. And these are like, he didn't kill these kids. I want everyone to know that. That's very important. These kids died of, I don't know, old age probably. It was the 1800s. So why the sudden change?
It's been over sort of the last year. I've been asked to start writing articles about archaeology and skepticism, and one of the first things I did was about an ancient alien mummy in the Atacama Desert, which turned out to be not an alien.
Shocker.
I know, but instead a mummified fetus that was purchased by someone who didn't live in the country and now keeps it in their private collection. And I was sort of like, yeah, that's the kind of shitty stuff I've been doing. So, well, not that particular.
Hold on, wait. What have you been doing outside of the job?
When I congratulated you on becoming a father last year, are we finding out it was some kind of desiccated jar baby?
I have only accidentally brought home bones once, right? That was on the bottom of my shoe. I had a finger. It was an accident.
That's pretty good. So so are you worried that your discoveries will turn into someone else's weird
Chris,
thing?
we are not done with the fetus mummies. You don't hear something like that and just be like doop de doop de doo. No. Hang on a minute. How many fetuses do you have in your house?
Not in the house, like around the desk. I've got a dog under the desk at work, and
a live dog though, not like a dog fetus in a jar.
No, like a in a box. And I think downstairs there's about 4 or 5 infants in the warehouse right now. But yeah, I think in our offices, I think in the offices there's about 100 people in boxes.
Yeah, I mean they're
similar
dead.
to Amazon then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are you worried about this turning into?
I just think it's right. First of all, it's incredibly exploitative for of excavating, and a lot of my sites have been turned into documentaries, and they're just showing the pictures of the people. And I don't think when they died, first of all, they knew what TV was, and secondly, like they can't give consent. If you're on TV now, you have to sign a consent form, and just because these guys died and they tend to be like poor people, we're like, hey, look at this dickhead's leg.
I don't think it's to do with how much money they're fucking dead, Paul.
No, but the reason they're getting like dug up is because it tends to be poorer. Like one of them.
No,
is
the reason
like
they're getting dug up is that they're dead.
Yeah.
So they have no opinions on any of this.
Yeah, we're not digging out people that are buried in sand on the beach. It's very different. It's not a fun day out. These guys have been dead for years.
I just feel like the opinions of dead people is so far down my priority list. Like, unless we get to the end and life is directed by M. Night Shyamalan and you've got to explain to all these guys and I'll be like, sorry, yeah, you were great documentaries. Yeah. I just don't think they care, Paul. Worry about the living. Yeah. You could literally play a xylophone with all the leg bones you've ever found and no one will give a shit because they're fucking dead.
Now who's thinking about cartoons, Laura? So yeah, Paul, there's nothing to regret here. They're not going to haunt you. They're not upset about it. I mean, if you're digging them up and they're in these numbers, that was probably like a pretty shitty grave in the first place, right? We're not talking Tutankhamun here. And so they probably didn't want to be buried when they were buried at all. So thanks for moving me, Paul. This was a shithole. I hate this poor neighborhood. Get me out of here into a nice box. This box is made of nicer wood than my house was made of. Thanks, Paul. I was a poor person in the 1700s.
Paul, there's
fair enough.
Paul, there's so many things with them that you could have done that you didn't as well, and you got to feel good about
that. You do not know that.
I think the fact that you regret it speaks to the fact that you don't fuck dem bones.
And I regret missing the opportunity.
You could have built a spooky temple exclusively from them.
Yeah.
And, and that would have been terrible. That would have been a lot of bones as well, because you would have put the work in, which is a bad sign.
Well, I've dug up 500 skeletons, so I've had the bones.
Oh.
Yeah, good. Who cares? They're dead. Make a Jenga pile. Bring your kid. Doesn't matter. They're gone. You're good. And a lot of the things you've dug them up for have been like projects. It's not like you're just curious. So you're like, probably some bones down here. You're not fucking Igor, It's always been to move them, and you're pretty respectful. You don't come in with a hammer and just smash them out. You dust them off like it's Jurassic Park, and you try to get them out of there. So I think if nothing else, you're treating them with much more respect than the worms did.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Good. Happy to unburden you, my friend. All right, Laura, what are you saying?
I'm giving it to you, Chris, because I fully agree. They're dead. Who gives a shit?
Fuck them. These
as long
stupid
as you kill someone
dead
first,
idiots.
You can do what you want to them.
All right, that's the end of the regrets round. Laura, what's the score?
The score is 5 points to Chris, 3 points to the audience, 1 to Alex.
Alex.
I'm going to give 2 points to that fetus as well, because I feel bad for that.
Oh, fucking fetus.
All right, so we're going to go into the second speed round now. Oh, excuse me. You guys saw how well Dorian did the last one. Anyone want to tango? All right, I'm picking Miles. Miles, you're in.
Paul has his finger.
Paul's got his finger up.
Yeah, there's no one going for it.
Miles, you're off the hook unless you want it, man.
I'll give it to Paul.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, 2 minutes on the clock, please. There we go. All right, and Paul, do you want to be for or against whatever we're about to say?
Let's go with 4. Why not?
4. Good man. Two positive British people. You guys, everything's changing. It's a beautiful day. All right, so Laura, you've got your list there.
Yes. Ready?
Good. Yeah, Paul's ready. Let's go. Speed round.
Nightmares.
It's just a way of the brain processing what went through the day so it can make you stronger the next day.
If I wanted to think about what happened during the day, I wouldn't have a smartphone. Fuck you, nightmares. Next.
Babies.
They are the single greatest things in the world, and there's one currently being taught to call Chris Uncle Chris.
Oh, that's sabotage. This is bullshit. Babies sometimes die and then are traded as alien fetuses, and they really bum out my friend Paul.
Okay. The moon.
It gives us tides, which allows many indigenous fishing communities to survive.
If the moon's so great, then why is that what we call showing our butt?
Good argument. Pianos.
Pianos are some of the most beautiful music that humanity ever created was written for the piano. And it's a wonderful way of showing that you have money and a small dick.
All right. Wow. Really let them have it with the piano stuff there at the end. Pianos are just shit, non-stretchy accordions.
I agree. Okay. I didn't know I thought that until I did. Sainsbury's.
They've been there for us during lockdown, and they've got a really weird line in maudlin adverts about World War I.
The name is confusing. I can never remember if there's an apostrophe or not. I'm here to shop, not do grammar.
Okay. The film Frozen.
It keeps kids so quiet, and you need that.
it keeps them quiet while they're watching it, and it keeps them singing Let It Go the rest of the goddamn time. Fuck that movie.
Monopoly.
Oh no, fuck Monopoly.
That's the end of the speed round.
Okay.
All right.
It was a bit of a whitewash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to Chris, 2 to Paul. You conceded on Monopoly, Paul. I gave Babies to Paul. I also gave Frozen to Paul. However, the moon, the butts argument, what could I do there? Nightmares, I agree. No one wants to think. Sainsbury's, yes. And I can't remember what the other one was because I forgot about the list and just said a word.
Fair enough.
So,
I like it.
5 to 2.
Yeah, good job.
Pianos.
It was pianos. Yeah, shit, sideways accordions. I didn't know I thought that until I said it. All right, so we're going to go into the final round now. So what's the score right now, Laura?
The score right now is 1.5 to Alex for hanging in there. Well done.
Go up.
Yep. The fetus has lost one during that round. I can't remember what it did, but it annoyed me. The audience is on 5 and Chris is on 10.
Oh shit, this is a slaughter, you guys. Oh, decimated. So I'm ahead by 5 going into the final round, but luckily for you, the final round is worth 6 points.
Woot woot.
All right, we've got it all to play for. So the final round is Laura's choice. Laura, you have picked a topic, but before you say what it is, I need the audience to decide whether they want to be for or against whatever you're about to say. So I think we'll do it by show of hands because with Zoom audio, sometimes cheers don't work out. So guys, show of hands, who wants to be against whatever Laura's about to say?
Woo!
Okay, we got 4 there. Show of hands, who wants to be for?
Woo!
That was 3. 2 people didn't vote. SJ Summer does not give a shit. And Paul is back to cooking. So we're going to go with, he's plating it out. What a good husband and father he is when he's not digging up bones. So you guys are going to be against. I'm going to be for. Laura, what am I supporting?
You are supporting the game of netball.
The game of netball. Excellent. That is tough because I am Canadian, and so we do not have netball. Clarify for me, it's basically like a combination of ultimate frisbee and basketball where you're not allowed to move and there's no backboard?
Yeah, I can't clarify it, I'm afraid. I can just give you the words netball.
Oh my God, so you're a very tough judge. Okay, netball. You know it's good because they didn't need a fancy name. They don't need a logo. They don't need to sass it up. It's just a fucking net and a ball, and that's it. What else do you need? It's perfect for, I grew up in Canada, and so a lot of people played hockey, but you needed a lot of money to play hockey to afford the pads. You know what you don't need a lot of money for? Nets and balls.
You know what you do need a lot of money for? A giant hoop 3 fucking meters in the air. Who's got a hoop that high? It's completely unrealistic. You cannot play it at home. You can only play it at school.
I am starting to see my disadvantage in not knowing anything about this sport. Okay, but it allows you to improvise. Let's say you've got a very tall friend with very long arms. Just hoop it out. I think that a game like that encourages creativity in the kids that want to play it because you don't have the parts for yourself. And so it's like stickball, you know? You can't play baseball.
Netball is perhaps the least creative sport that I'm aware of, since you are so rigidly defined to a specific role within the team and a tiny area of the pitch court within which you are allowed to move. It allows no creativity on the part. You are either the person who scores the goals, the person who tries to stop the other person from scoring, or the loser in the middle who catches and then gives it to one of the cooler people.
I would say it's weird that there's a position based on coolness. That
exists in every sport. It's just more explicit in netball.
I think the fact that there are so many limitations actually breed creativity, because if you have no limitations and you don't have to think about how to subvert them. So thank you, netball, for building a stronger, smarter generation. I'm glad that there are cool people in it, because that teaches kids about who matters and who doesn't in life. It's very good lesson. How is the scoring in netball? Is it 1 point or is it something wacky?
No, it's just a point.
Just 1 point? Perfect. Nice and simple. None of this 6 points and then an extra point football bullshit.
It's a sport that was specifically created to try and make women do less. It is a sexist sport because they didn't want them running around, bless their little hearts, sweating. It is robs women of the shibboleth that is football and that global kind of fraternity, and it traps them in these kind of almost like know your role limitations.
Well, we're all looking for a sense of identity. I think it's.
If I may paraphrase Laura for a second, men have the incredible advantage of being able to go into any pub anywhere in the world and say, "Oh, did you hear Maradona died today?" And then you've got a conversation going, and no one is doing that about netball anywhere in the world. It's not a conversation starter.
Can I just point out as well that no one's really said it. It's just basically a shit version of basketball where you have to stop every single time. So it's kind of similar to like basketball if you had motor neuron disease.
Good. It's time we involved the handy capable in more sports. Thank you, netball.
I don't know anything about netball, but the level of frustration that Dorian seems to have, it suggests that it was really something horrible and traumatizing. So I'm thinking there's a story there.
What was traumatizing about it was that I was a boy and wasn't allowed to play netball. It's the
jealousy.
fact that,
there you go. That's how good it is.
Not only are women forced to play it, but it's excluded from men. I wanted to try all the different sports. I really liked rounders when I was a child, and they wouldn't let me play it as much because the boys had to go and play football. Sometimes I wanted to play netball, and Laura and other women may have felt locked into netball, but I felt locked out. And I just think excluding people based on sex in either direction is dumb and bad.
That is not netball's fault. That is a problem with the patriarchy. We can get rid of the sexist part and just let boys play netball. I don't think it has to be sexist. There's no like anti-penis rule in it, right? There's no.
My school let me play netball, and the bullying was brutal.
You do usually have to wear a skirt as well in netball, so it does exclude men a bit further on that basis.
But it's a new enlightened generation. Harry Styles is wearing dresses every other day. I feel like you're going to see a lot of boys wearing skirts, and that might actually be a selling point at this point. I don't think that when you let boys in, you change the dress code at all. Keep it skirts.
I feel like that. Flop. I feel like that Harry Styles point kind of more goes against you than anything else.
I know about as much about Harry Styles as I do about netball, if I'm honest. I just dresses.
Yes, but boys own fewer skirts. So all you're doing is excluding the boys who can't afford skirts. If you let boys in but make them wear skirts, then you've only letting the rich boys in, and everyone knows that ruins everything.
You just
look what it did to stand up.
You just cut the gusset out of the shorts. The natural skirt just opens right up. That's just
who's going to do that, Chris? Their mums. Sexism.
Or their dads. Again, I don't know. It's the sexism is not the sport's fault. I feel like you're taking a lot out on netball that is really the problem of guys. I think that netball is pure. Netball doesn't want this. Netball wants you, Dorian. Netball wants you to go to its giant stupid hoop and not move and have to pass to cooler people. I think that all these things are things that it would welcome for you if you would only let it in. It's so much better than football.
It's not true. This isn't true. You're trying to make some argument on behalf of what you want netball to be in your Canadian brain, which is learning about it for the first time. But none of this is true. Netball fucking sucks, Chris.
All right. Pivot. Okay, pivot. Because Dorian.
Don't you dare say pivot.
Dorian.
Don't you dare say pivot. That is exactly what the girls are taught to do constantly.
Yeah.
With one foot stuck on the ground
right.
and the other foot fucking pivoting.
Yeah, Chris, as a fellow Canadian, I just Googled netball because I have no idea what it is, and it's stupid.
Yeah.
There's a hoop on the top of a big stick.
Yeah.
Not with a backboard like basketball.
So no dunk.
It's just a hoop sitting on the top of a stick.
Yeah. Great. That's a throwback to old school basketball when it was peach baskets and James Naismith. That's honoring your heritage. And I would say, finally, a sport for asthmatics. Thanks, netball. These wheezy bastards can't play a damn thing. That's not a sport. That's a retirement option when your kids stop calling. I think that all that's happened is that netball has been relegated to being a sexist thing when really it's an opportunity for the less breathy.
We have cricket, golf, bulls, darts, snooker. How long have I got? Like, there are plenty of sports you can do without actually having to run that far.
I'm pretty sure you still have to run in netball as well at certain points.
More than you do in all of the sports I just mentioned.
Man, I would really benefit from knowing anything at all about netball right now. This is rough. I really wish I hadn't made the points worth the difference plus one.
Just like the Olympics, they're only relevant in the Olympics.
I mean, I'm running out of steam here. There's only so many things I can make up about netball.
You put up a good fight. I think you can't. There's not much point in. I was interested, and when you said, you know, because I generally speaking am very anti netball, so you had it hard, Chris. But you made a very good point about removing netball from the inherent sexism of the British educational system. And so I was like, oh, okay. But then you used the word gusset.
Yes. Yeah.
And I just immediately gave the points to the audience.
Oh, punished for a great vocabulary.
Because the word gusset is disgusting. And no one should ever say gusset. I just, gusset. Horrible.
Laura just lost 6 points for saying it so many times.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess you guys win. Congratulations. What an outrage to lose on vocabulary. Jesus. I was decimating you guys. Fuck. This was a great game, though. Thanks for coming, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. To anyone that's streaming, thank you for watching. I'm going to be back next week doing a one-on-one show against Glenn Wool, who's a Canadian comedian and a very funny man. And the judge is going to be Paul Byrne, who is a TV producer, who's a friend of mine, who's just a very funny guy. That's it for the show. Thank you so much for playing, guys. A round of applause for Laura Lexx, everybody, for being an excellent judge. Laura has recently written a book that I want to make sure that we talk about. It's called Clop, actually. And
you should get the audiobook.
Yes.
Everyone should get it.
Or buy a signed copy direct from me, because then I actually make money rather than Amazon making money.
Yeah. All roads lead to Bezos.
No, definitely get the audiobook too. Sorry, that wasn't meant to be like, you cheap fucks. No, have the audiobook.
You've already made me defend Bezos tonight. I didn't. Sorry.
100% get the audiobook or a signed copy.
Ooh.
Is that from the Twitter thread?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It contains the Twitter thread, but then a whole new book.
Yeah,
so I've read the Twitter thread. Do I need the book?
Yes, because there's a whole book. It's not just the Twitter thread printed out really big.
I like Jurgen Klopp. I don't know if I need to read about him twice. I'm joking.
The winter section is really sweet.
Thanks. You can't read the book twice because the pages are too sticky after you've read it once.
Has he got a copy of the book?
Well, do you know what? He has. So somebody that works for Liverpool got in touch with me and was like, we were chatting about the book and he thinks it sounds hilarious. Will you send him a copy? So I sent one, but then like just the week it arrived was the week that Van Dijk got injured. And then I think things have been pretty like moody at the, like I don't follow football, so I have no idea what's going on. But apparently there've been injuries. So they haven't given it to him yet because it's not been happy there.
So, but it's great. I mean, I only read the Twitter thread. I haven't read the book yet. So how do you expand on it? Do you want to give us a brief idea of where it goes?
It's kind of like a manual on how to cope with anxiety that only works if you're married to Jurgen Klopp.
Perfect. And for the non-British, non-sports people here, Jurgen Klopp is
Oh, you don't need to know who he is. I don't know who he is. He's a soccer man. He's a German soccer man who's very sensible. And he says sensible things like, don't ask stupid questions, you idiot. And then you go, oh my God, I fancy you. He's like a sexy dad that tells you off and then fucks you.
He's the angriest German man you'll ever meet.
Perfect. Who doesn't want to read that book?
Literally the angriest German man you'll ever meet.
Yeah, but then also so smiley. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And he's got these teeth that you just, oh my God.
Wow,
Whoever
Lord.
gets to dig up his bones in 400 years is a lucky motherfucker.
Make the most of them bones. So
I'd
Laura,
spell fuck
if
that.
anyone, Laura, if people want to follow you on any social medias, are
At
there
Laura
any?
Lex.
At Laura
I
Lex,
think on Instagram I'm at Lex Laura, but
Yeah,
some
you are
combination
actually.
of this name. No
Yeah,
one else
so-
has it. I made it
So,
up.
oh God, I'm so jealous. There's so many Chris Betzes. They are all more successful than me. It's incredibly frustrating. Follow Laura. Thank you for watching, guys. I'm going to be back next week. This is going to be released as a podcast. I release it as a podcast every week. And if you sign up to my Patreon, Laura and I are going to have a conversation now post-show, and we're going to be releasing that on the Patreon, so feel free to sign up. I think the link is in the chat. Thank you again for watching, you guys. This was so much fun. Congratulations on your win. And I will see you all soon. Take care of yourselves, guys. Bye.
Bye.